But before I print something for real, I'm going to try one more test. This is a kind of all-in-one test I found on Thingiverse again. And it's got overhangs, it's got little posts, it's got supports, wall thicknesses. So this will be a fun project to kind of do an all-around test for the printer. I want to print a all-in-one test that I found on Thingiverse. So we're going to bring this one up. And this is a nice feature of flash print. If the model is off the platform, it'll put it in the middle for you like this. That looks like a nice size print. It's supposed to take about 4 hours. So we'll go ahead and print this. I'm using the USB card because remember with this version of the firmware, actually I don't know if I mentioned that, but this version of the firmware, it won't print files created by flash print from the SD card that plugs in the side of the printer. So, but it does work from the USB port. So I'm going to print this. I'm using PLA standard, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now it's going to print, and it saves the file. So theoretically I could take this file, put it on an SD card, and plug it into the printer, but that doesn't seem to work. So I'm going to click on Send GC Code, and then that should get the printer started on this project. So I'm going to reposition the camera, and then I'll press that button. Alright, ready to get started. So I'll send the print to the printer. Sending the printing file. It says downloading file on the touch screen. Alright, and it's going to go through its normal process where it has to heat up the bed and all that kind of stuff. So we'll wait for that. I'll turn this off for now, and we'll come back once it gets started printing. Alright, it's heated up, starting to print. And it's going to take about 4 hours and 15 minutes to print, so we're obviously not going to watch that. So we'll come back later, partway through probably. I'm going to try using my GoPro to get a closer look at how it's printing. Another video camera has autofocus, and when the heat's coming up off of the bed and the print head, the focus gets all wacky. So looks like it's making the base of the print. Looks like it drew a line at the start to get rid of the excess, any blobby material coming off of the printer, so that's interesting. Alright, well, we'll come back later and see what's happening. Looks like it had some adhering problems. This section of the print, but now it's sticking better, so maybe I'll fix this up. Alright, so that's some bed adhesion problem, which apparently is a problem with the bed temperature. Probably wasn't high enough. It's pretty cold in the garage this morning, and I only have 50 degrees set up, so with flash print you can customize the bed temperature, so I'll play around with that. I'm also going to do some testing of the hot end temperature. There's some bridge tests over on Thingiverse. I'm going to get some of those and try them out. Probably not this one, a different one. Probably this one. Bed adhesion doesn't seem to be a big problem. It's moved on beyond that. It made a hexagon pattern, and now it's building up some of the other features of the print, it looks like. So, we're 2 hours into the print, and it seems to be going okay. Bridge section. Started on some cylinders over here. So everything's looking pretty good so far. So I definitely have a bed adherence problem on this corner, so maybe that corner looks like too. So I'm gonna have to raise the bed temperature on my next print and see how that works out. Alright, 4 hours into the build and it's doing the overhang test. Still building a some little pillars in the back too. Switch it back and forth. I think it seems to be printing pretty well. Good definition, so except for the bed adhesion problem, everything else looks really good. So I'm really happy with that. Alright, it's like the print's almost done. Just finishing the overhangs. So far, we're at 4 hours and 12 minutes and 99% done. So the Flash print software said about 4 hours and 15 minutes, so it's pretty close. Turn it down pretty soon. So here's a close-up of the build. So as you can see, everything worked pretty well except for see this warp on this side because the bed didn't adhere to the bed very well on this edge. So if you look at the printout on the front, you can see that this right side is not quite square. So all the overhangs worked up to 80 degrees and 60, 75 over here and 80 over here, and all the bridging tests worked. Look down in here, you can see all the bridges are solid. The posts are solid. Everything looks really good. The holes came out really well. The printing for the holes is a little bit hard to read, but I'm not sure what this cube is for. I have to look into what that's supposed to be. All these cylinders came out really well, I think. So, all right, on to the next test, which is going to be a temperature bridge test to test the best temperature for the hot end. Meanwhile, I'll adjust, like I said, I'll adjust the bed temperature to get better adhesion.